They're team virus all the way. Team virus, team virus. I want the virus to win. You know, they do that every fucking time, but so it's nothing new, but you know. Okay, who wants to talk about monkeypox? I do. I mean, I don't, but you know, it's a thing that we have to talk about, so you might as well hear it from me, somebody who's relatively smart, I would like to think. So, monkeypox. Contrary to its name, it is not impacting monkeys, it is impacting humans. Now, I don't exactly know where it started, but I don't really care that much. I heard that it started in like a gay nightclub, and that could be wrong, so I don't want you to quote me on that. But anyway, ever since monkeypox started, people have been trying to turn it into AIDS 2 electric boogaloo, where like it's like a gay disease, right? It's like a gay STI is what people literally think it is, right? That's not true. That's not what it is. Monkey safe? Monkey is safe, yes. I actually don't know a whole lot about like the symptoms of monkeypox, to be honest. It does sound scary. Okay. Let's see what the CDC has to say about it. So, the CDC is tracking an outbreak of monkeypox that has spread across several countries that don't normally report monkeypox, including the US. The monkeypox virus is spreading mostly through close, intimate contact with someone who has monkeypox. You can take steps to prevent getting it and lower your risk during sex. CDC recommends vaccination for people who have been exposed and people who are at high risk of being exposed. If you have any symptoms of monkeypox, talk to your healthcare provider, even if you don't think you had contact with somebody who has monkeypox. I kind of want to see the symptoms real quick. Let's take a look. Symptoms. It's a rare disease, well, not anymore, caused by infection with the monkeypox virus. It's part of the same family of viruses as smallpox. They're similar to smallpox symptoms, but milder, and monkeypox is rarely fatal. Okay, well, that's good. It can include fever, headache, muscle aches, and backache, respiratory symptoms, a rash that can look like pimples or blisters that appears on the face, inside the mouth and other parts of the body like the hands, feet, chest, genitals, or anus, swollen lymph nodes, chills, and exhaustion. The rash goes through different stages before healing completely. The illness typically lasts 2 to 4 weeks. Sometimes people get a rash first, followed by other symptoms. Others only experience a rash. So it looks like smallpox, but not quite as serious. It's when you ask your mom for smallpox, but she says you have smallpox at home, and it's actually monkeypox. Is basically what we're looking at. So it's rare. Not something that you would typically find in the US, and yet we're finding it in the US. Why is that? Like I said, this is how pandemics start. You know, it starts in one little localized area, and then it spreads outward from there, and then, you know, a whole thing. If you've ever played that game, what's that game called? The app? I can't think of it. I can never think of the name. It's an app where you like play as the illness. Plague Inc. Thank you. Yeah. If you've ever played Plague Inc., then you know exactly how it works. Homozygotes live later if you have more questions about it. Interesting. According to Google and Wikipedia, it started originally in sporadic outbreaks in African wildlife reserves, particularly among rodents, but the latest outbreak started in the UK. Oh, okay. Monkeypox is playing on easy mode? True. All right. So, how does it spread? The virus can spread from person to person through direct contact with the infectious rash, scabs, or bodily fluids, respiratory secretions during prolonged face-to-face contact, during intimate physical contact such as kissing, cuddling, or sex, touching items such as clothing or linens that previously touched the infectious rash or body fluids. Pregnant people can spread the virus to their fetus through the placenta. You can also get monkeypox from infected animals either by being scratched or bitten by the animal or by preparing or eating meat using products from an infected animal. It can spread from the time symptoms start until the rash is fully healed and a fresh layer of skin is formed. It typically lasts 2 to 4 weeks. People who don't have symptoms cannot spread the virus to others. At this time, it's not known if monkeypox can spread through semen or vaginal fluids. The problem with people who don't have the symptoms can't spread it, right? So that's great. I think that's great news because asymptomatic spreaders are bad news every time, okay? The issue is, look again at the rash that you get, right? It looks like a zit. It looks like a pimple, okay? There's nothing particularly special about this. If that's all you're seeing, you're not really going to pay it much mind, you know? Especially if that's the only symptom that you're having. So that's the issue. Alec has monkeypox now? Not yet. We'll see. In Portugal, it started in a gay sauna. Every case are males that have fun with other males. It's a virus that's being passed in the gay community. Soon will reach the heterosexual community, even heterosexual women, but people will always remember when starter and the stigma will raise. That's true. So it started, unfortunately, like I said, in a gay community, within a gay community, you know, and as viruses do, it's going to spread out to other communities that are not gay. The issue is the conservatives already kind of have a vice grip on this narrative, okay? So, NPR said when the WHO declared monkeypox a public health emergency, it also warned of another threat to society, stigma and discrimination. How can leaders educate people about monkeypox without stigmatizing those who are most likely to be affected by it? Now, as a former conservative, I can tell you how I would have looked at this. It's that the conservatives are going to look at headlines like this and be like, oh, they care so much about discrimination that they're not even going to get to the root of the problem. They're too worried about stigmatizing people. And I have news for you. Stigmatizing people will actually cause this problem to be worse. Okay, this isn't just about being woke. This isn't just about caring about gay people's feelings, which, I think is pretty important. But even if you don't, that's not what this is about. They go into more detail and they say part of the solution is having adequate resources and places for testing. Another part is tackling homophobia itself. So here's the root of the problem of doing this. It's dangerous for public health messaging to falsely suggest that monkeypox is not a broad issue of concern. That's in part because it breeds stigma, which could prevent infected people from coming forward, seeking care, and alerting their close contacts, So if you're a person who gets infected with monkeypox, right? Or let's say that you're a parent whose kid gets it. That's a good example. And you're under the impression that only people who have sex can pass it from one person to the other. Well, it's going to look pretty damn bad in your head if you come forward and your kid has monkeypox, right? So you're not going to tell anybody. Your kid's going to go to school as they always do. They're going to give it to other kids. And then those parents also aren't going to tell anybody because they don't want people to think that they're dirty, no good pedophiles, right? We don't want that. So that's the issue with this. If you are spreading the false information that this is purely a gay disease, you are part of the problem, and you're part of the reason this is going to spread even more. Which, conservatives love to do that anyway. They love being vectors for these fucking viruses, okay? They're team virus all the way. Team virus. I want the virus to win. They do that every fucking time, but so it's nothing new. But, they're already saying 2 kids got infected from groomers as opposed to their parent just hugging them or something more likely. Yeah, no, it's something that I actually meant to pull up. Yeah, no, a sitting representative of Congress. Where's it at? Yeah, sitting rep. If monkeypox is a sexually transmitted disease, why are kids getting it? Just blatantly spewing misinformation. Funny because so far as the liberal media that's pushing the monkeypox stuff about gays. Okay, well, from what I can tell, it seems to be mostly gay people who have it right now, but that's not going to remain that way. Just like back when they were calling it GRID instead of AIDS. I don't know what, I can kind of pick up the pieces, but I don't know exactly what that stands for. I'm assuming the first word in that is gay, but So yeah, they're just blatantly spreading this shit around and people are going to get hurt. This is not just about protecting gay people's feelings. This is about people getting hurt. Overwhelmingly transmitted through sex between men in this global outbreak, much less commonly it can transmit in household settings. Cases in children remain rare. Is this true? Being driven overwhelmingly by sex between men. Of the 528 confirmed cases, 95% are believed to have transmitted during sex between men. These data point clearly to the fact that infections are so far almost exclusively occurring among men who have sex with men. The clinical presentation of these infections suggests that sexual transmission, not just close physical contact, may be helping spread the virus among this population. So, helping is the key word there, okay? Get to test this. Yeah. Got a new app. Helping is the key word there, okay? It's not the only way that it transmits. It's mainly a contact-driven thing that can also be droplet-borne. It has been known to pass through droplets from time to time, but mainly it's from one person touching another. Strange the timing of the new virus has started a little bit after the war. It started in Europe, was long I know, Portugal, Spain, Belgium, and UK. That's too conspiracy brain for me. I'm not getting into all that. I still have major doubts if this is going to become a whole thing. I think it will. The conservatives will see to that. So, here, wait, what's this? Okay, well, that's from the CDC. Where to click that? I don't think NBC would falsely report on that. The cons will stoop to any pretext to stomp out the gays. True. It does seem to be spreading rapidly, yeah. Harder to actually spread, and just having pox on the end of it will probably make people a little more reticent. Am I saying that right? When you purposely only test in one community, then whoa, that's where most of your cases are going to come from. Since it started in the gay community, I feel like initially at first it's just going to be spread via gay sex between men, right? Like that's just that because they're touching all up on each other anyway. That's just how it's going to spread at first. But then those gay people, a lot of them being bisexual, are going to go touch and hug and kiss other people and have sex with other people, and then it's going to spread to them, and they're going to spread it to other people. This is just how viruses spread, you know? I don't know. We'll just have to see how it plays out. But calling it a gay illness and a sexually transmitted disease, which is a lie, okay? This part right here is a lie, and that's going to get people hurt. What I missed, we're just talking about monkeypox. It's great. Failure to address stigma early on can create a sense of complacency in other segments of the population. It's important for public health officials to act early and offer messaging that is not only clear, but can also earn and restore the public's trust. Public health experts and advocates are looking back at the HIV/AIDS crisis as an example of what not to do. Stigma and blame kept many people hidden in shame. Public health officials didn't channel the appropriate resources into addressing the outbreak when it first began. I mean, the AIDS crisis was driven by very, very many things, okay? And I feel like dropping all of that on people not coming out about it is a little bit of an oversight, but we'll leave it at that. One of the most important takeaways from the HIV/AIDS crisis is the value of a sex-positive approach to education. True. Read how to protect yourself from monkeypox and what to watch out for. You have people like this. I read this earlier. Stigmatizing/discriminating have been made the way to proceed based on the coronate. How the fuck do you say that word? I don't even know. Some people could just avoid antics such as piss orgies and monkeypox would vanish. After the past 28 months, giving up piss orgies for a month is a reasonable demand. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, things that Marjorie Taylor Greene and others are saying are going to be spreading shit like this. Because, you know, like gay people it's impossible for them to get off in any way other than a piss orgy, okay? I'm sure some of them like it, but also like, I don't know. It's just such a weird thing to say. It's an STD, keep your pants zipped to slow the spread. It's literally not. It's literally not. Why not just transparently warn the population and educate the demographic at risk? Honestly, I think NPR made a mistake making this their main title, you know, of the thread. I think they should have started off with stigmatizing people for having monkeypox is going to lead to greater infections. Here's why. You know, instead, I'm sorry, to a conservative, this is just going to look like woke bullshit. You know, I think they could have done a better job of messaging this. Because it's not until you get like 3 tweets down that it's like, no, guys, the stigma will cause this to fester and spread more. So you need to not do that. Like that should have been point number 1, right up there at the top. Don't spread stigma or else it will cause monkeypox to spread more than it would otherwise. People should be wearing protection in the first place. Okay, if somebody has monkeypox and you're using a condom, right, that may help you from getting it. But if you're doing the dirty with somebody, your hips are going to be slapping against their ass cheeks, okay? That's just how that works. So you're probably going to get it anyway. It'd be hard to avoid even with a condom. Normally, I wouldn't care about optics too much, but this is going to get more people hurt. That's what I'm saying. Like, I understand. This is not a terrible thread, okay? I think it's good. But point number... Full body robber suits, yeah. Point number 1 should have been, don't stigmatize. It's just going to get more people hurt. With monkeypox. Lynching aside, of course. Anyway. Yeah, real cool stuff. So you will see like conservatives using this to force gay people out of schools if they're teachers, or at least attempting to, you know, making this a reason that gay people have to stay home or like fucking who even knows at this point, have cameras set up in their goddamn bedrooms. Who knows, man? I don't put anything past them anymore. The freedom loving conservatives, right? So look for that. Look for that. It's going to be great.